All right. Hello again, whiskey friends. I am back with the Don Jr. Fiore. We're at this wine cellar and having a good time together, but we thought we would do a video slash tasting of some expensive Macallans to see if it's really, really worth it or if it's all hype. So we'll see. But anything, we're the winners just get to freaking drink it. So that's the fun part. So we're going to start with the 18 year. And for those that have not had Macallan, this is a Speyside Scotch with no peat. Probably pouring a little bit from mine.
That's all right.
That's it.
Sure.
I won't do that. I'll let you pour the next 25.
Someone must come down and fight me.
Yeah, yeah. But on the look at it, it's pretty dark for just an 18 year. And Scotch always ages a little bit. It's slower to age. Let me just say it that way. The temperatures and stuff out there don't swing as much as they do here in the States. So that's why it's not nearly, even at 18 years, nearly as dark as what an 18-year-old.
And we decided to skip the 12 because most people have had 12.
Right. I mean, if you're a Macallan, you know what Macallan is, you probably have a taste of the 12.
Yeah. But the 18,
I think it's a giant step up. Now, this is the sherry oak cask of the 18. I think that they make most of those are sherry casks, if I remember right.
but you still kind of get some of that. It's, yeah.
Oh, man. It's like raisins and dates and
Yeah. But on the nose, like a little bit of sour, but nothing bad.
it's the maltiness.
Yeah.
It's with the malt, I'm coming from drinking bourbon or rye where it's all sweet on the nose.
Yes.
It's a very distinct maltiness with Scotch.
Never thought of that.
But yeah, it can kind of come off as sour. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Just how everybody interprets certain things.
Certain notes, whatever. But yeah, man, that is
I always say, the 12 is kind of thin. It's kind of, I don't want to say watery, but just really, but the 18, you just, thick, you got to see the legs on the glass. Like
absolutely.
wine.
I was just going to say, like the viscousness is very, very, very on this. I mean, it's just coating the palate. What's interesting is the difference of oak in a Scotch versus an oak in bourbon. Like oak in bourbon comes across so much more like punchy to me sometimes, whereas this is a little bit more subdued, but it's still there.
Why is that?
Number one, it's the temperature swings, so it's not expanding and contracting as much.
You're right. Scotland's a little further north.
Yeah, so they don't get as quiet, heavy of a temperature swing. That's why like the typical Scotch is like 12 years old because they can age it a lot longer. Whereas a typical bourbon at 12 years is kind of like getting on up.
Yeah, I imagine in some places in America it gets so damn hot. After 12 years, it'd be half a barrel left.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think the other part of it too is just how the malt interacts with it as a distillate with the wood versus a corn-based or a rye-based distillate. So
it's a dumb question, but do they charge barrels?
Yes.
When they do, yeah.
So basically what they're doing is all of these barrels typically are either from Jack Daniels or sherry oaks. They would not be, but bourbon, if it's an ex-bourbon cask, almost all of Jack Daniels barrels go overseas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this is being a sherry cask is a little bit different, but yeah, it's a lot of the oak influence is because of that.
Since you get to be such a baby pour, I have to pour more.
Man, it's so good. It's been a while since I had a Scotch. I've been tasting
Me too.
ryes and bourbons and single malts, which is pretty close, but still the process of 100% malted barley is way different profile. How did you get into with your dad getting into Macallan?
Well, my dad likes Scotch. Some people like bourbon, some people like Scotch. Some people like you and I. We like both.
It's like if it's
brown water, we drink it. We're never years ago we were never much adventurous drinkers, but we like to drink. And my dad's used to drink famous grouse, which is made by Macallan, right? And we would just drink that, and then we said, okay, Macallan 12, and then tried the 18. Don't care for the 17. I think it's a little more woody, a little more peaty, but it's not but I don't know. We just kind of just really got into the whole Scotch thing. And then my dad stopped drinking as much. And so I kind of dove into the bourbons. So I met guys like, you, Sam, and these other guys, and just a little more, there's more of it here.
Well, yeah, it's more accessible. And, the thing is when I was into Scotch, And first getting into it, I was, these bottles are so freaking expensive because I could buy like 3 bottles of bourbon for 1 bottle of scotch. I mean, and good bourbon, not bad bourbon, just not cheap bourbon, like three decent bottles of bourbon. But I mean, when you get on up into these type of age ranges, then they really start seeing the
And I
difference.
remember, 10 to 15, 20 years ago, 12 wasn't that expensive, compared to,
Comparatively, yeah.
I mean, it'd be like, it'd be no more than just a really good, expensive bottle of bourbon, at 70, $80. Maybe, I don't know what it is now.
I think the 12's right around 100.
Yeah. Now for 18, it'd be like, 100 to 120. And now it's
over $300.
yeah. And then of course 30, that's
Super,
yeah. So,
extremely expensive bottle.
But yeah.
That's cool. One of the things that I really find interesting is the differences in how water affects malt versus how water affects the corn-based distillate. You'll see a lot of people with drinking scotch, they'll do a little bit of water, they'll put it over ice and let it melt down. And so it's really interesting
Yeah.
the differences you get with that.
You're right. You're right. I wouldn't put a rock on a scotch or first over a bourbon any day,
I think it's just because I don't know.
especially if it's peaty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the fun thing about if you get into peat, the more age you get on that, the less peat it gets. So like
Oh, real?
the higher age peated scotches are not super peaty. They just have a hint of it. And so it's pretty interesting to see also how that affects it. But yeah.
There's a very well-known person who owns a very large cigar company. And he was at this house and my dad goes, you know what? You want some Macallan 30? And he goes, I love scotch. He goes, I know, that's why I'm marking Macallan 30. He goes, no, thank you. Why? It's not peaty. He refused it because he only drinks peaty scotches.
That's interesting.
And I was like, what?
Usually it's the other way around.
I don't usually like, hey, Kelsey, you want a cigar? You're like, it's flavored? No, I'll smoke it.
Exactly. That's true.
It's like, it's brown, you'll smoke it. Kind of like it's brown, you'll drink it,
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, we were just kind of like, wow, I'm saying no to that. Okay, well, all right. Well, I guess another pour for
Everybody
someone.
likes their thing.
I honestly thought it was pretty cool. He's like, I'm not going to appreciate it. That's an expensive bottle of scotch. Do you have anything? Whatever. So it was a good story.
That's cool. That's fun.
Then he played shuffleboard till 3 a.m. and he lost every game. He got more furious. And it was hilarious.
That's funny.
Furious in a good way. Competitive.
Yeah. Man,
Maybe in the sub comments we'll say who it was.
that's funny.
No, only if you make a $5 donation to Kelsey's.
All right.
And when he hits certain amounts, then we'll reveal who the cigar got.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's several that it could be though.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you want to move on to the 25 and let's taste it. We'll get a clean glass here to let you.
Yeah. Also, he's over here. Get him out of the way.
Oh, that's
Sure. Let's get these out of the way so our elbows don't hit them. And then so we don't pour in the other ones. Most of the cigar people I know, they're, in the Dominican or the Nicaraguan part of the world, and they're drinking rum.
Yep.
Carlos Fuente, they're drinking rum. Nicaraguan guys, they're drinking Florida cognac. They drink their bourbon, but you better give them a rum. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
DR. And I think about most of them, not all of them, are kind of mild or medium stills, right?
Nicaragua, it's a little more.
Nicaraguan's not that way, but definitely in the DR, I don't know, it kind of seems like it might be a little overpowering at times, I would imagine.
Well, or Nicaragua is very proud of their rum. Oh gosh, sorry. But they're very proud of their rum. They make it through the condiment. And Sam and I were in Esteli. We stayed at a hotel that had an elevator. Anyways, there was a convenience store attached to the hotel. And this is a convenience store like an American gas station, but there are no pumps, And kind of like Clark's. Clark's, it's that same type of thing. And here was Florida cognac aisle. And then there it was the rock cut rum aisle. Where you can literally buy like a gallon or whatever they have, plastic jug of just said rum. You're just like, oh my God. No bourbon.
Hey, I enjoy rum.
Decent beer though. They actually had a couple craft beers that we drank too out there from Nicaraguan craft beer. I was like, wow.
That's different. You don't hear about beer coming from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Right.
That and Tip Top Chicken. That's the Nicaraguan KFC.
Interesting. Not
Now,
Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, right. Now this smells to me a lot sweeter.
Yeah.
I've never had 25 before.
I was just looking at that. It is sherry cask.
It's sherry.
Well. Menace. This don't think it just is sherry. And it doesn't say where it's from. Oh, it does say some Spanish. Okay, so it's 3 different casks on the 18. A goat cask from Jerez, Spain, and okay, it's this one. Jerez.
But on this one, you get a little more fruit, but you still got that sour kind of.
Yeah, this one's
sour in a good way.
extreme.
Yeah, I didn't realize I poured you that stiff.
That's all right.
All right. I want to make him hit the golf simulator later.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Oh, wow. That is way different just from the 18 to 25.
Yeah.
That's malty or sour note you're calling it is way down on the palate.
Yeah.
It doesn't come across like that on the palate.
Yeah, it would be obviously it would be an absolute sin to put any type of ice in this. But that's definitely one you could just. I'm thinking leather-bound books, a nice pipe, English tobacco, drinking a Macallan 25 with like some weird hat on, and
Think about it. Isn't that scotches though? For me, like I always get this super, and especially this one, really rich. Like if you took a box, and I eat these as kids, that's the only reason I can go to it is Raisinets, the little raisins in the box, right?
Yeah.
And you took that box and you just smell the inside of the box. This gets like a really sweet raisin note.
Do you get a little peat out of that when you drink it? Nothing. Try to do like kind of a little retro hail, like it's a cigar. I mean, you just kind of get that in your nostrils.
That just comes across as char to me.
Okay.
Char. Yeah. So MPD can be, so there are different kinds, like when you're doing mezcal.
I was going to ask you that.
So different kinds of peat, obviously, it's pulled from the ocean, right? Different areas. And it's just grass or basically it's kelp, essentially is what it is.
From that region?
From whatever region they're pulling it from. And then they smoke that, light it on fire, and smoke it to get that influence on the grains. And they'll smoke the whole grain floor. They'll put all the grain on the floor and smoke the whole building, and it envelops that grain. And that's how they get it. But also,
they put the barrels in how they get the peat into the scotch.
They do it before it's even mashed.
Wow. Okay.
So most people.
Oh, the grain itself.
Yeah. Yeah. So the grain itself is sitting on like a grain floor, like a large grain floor spread out.
Yeah.
And they'll do it like a smokehouse for like ribs or whatever else. They'll pump in that peat smoke, and that just envelops the grain, and then the grain gets put into the mash, and that's how it comes across.
So it's like tobacco guy, kind of like a Latakia pipe tobacco.
Yes.
It's a smoked tobacco.
Yes.
And basically that's just, okay, cool.
So that's kind of that process of like instilling that type of a flavor to it. But yeah, that comes across more like a barrel.
That makes a lot of sense now in my brain as the longer it ages, maybe, I'm sure there are different circumstances, but the longer it ages, the less peat, because it just kind of sits in there and maybe dilutes
It
and wears down.
Yeah. So like the super peaty, like Octomores and what's the other one? The Lagavulins and the stuff like that. They're younger whiskeys. And so that peat is still really heavy involved in that grain. And so, yeah. And then you also get in the mixture of like, you're putting it in a barrel for 25 years. So, I don't think it would be a lot, like I said, because they're not having the things that causes that is the temperature swings.
Yeah.
There's really hot temperatures.
And if they do have a hot day there, it's probably like 3 weeks out of 1 month of the year.
Exactly. It's very rainy and moist. And, the temperatures don't fluctuate like it does in Kentucky or Indiana, where
you will probably slap, you and probably a lot of people watching will probably slap me in the back of the head. But I kind of like the 18 better than 25.
That's fine.
Yeah.
This also has a really deep, reminds me of a cherry note, like if you're in an old fashioned. Yeah. That cherry juice itself.
Hey, let's make old fashions with 25-year-old.
Oh, God. Take off the interview.
Hey, you get 20,000. So people, oh my God, you did that. No, that'd be awesome. Let's do that now.
This just has a richness and a depth of flavor.
Man, I did pour that strong in.
You don't mind drinking after me?
No, go for it.
Even it out a little bit.
Well, we've both been sick. We both had the flu a week ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think we could be sick again.
Yeah. We've got to be.
We're good for a year.
And if we keep drinking,
yeah, and we're at the same shop every day. So he either got it from me or I got it from him.
I think we both got it from Harry. It's all
yeah.
Harry, if you're watching this, it's your fault.
Yeah. And then my whole family got sick. Did your wife ever get sick? No, no, no. She's lucky. She stayed away from you.
She did, and I was nervous. She takes care of her 84-year-old grandma.
Well, that's right. I forgot you told me that.
To get her grandma sick. So, but yeah, this one has just a complex flavor. But I think
No, I'm not saying I don't like it.
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if money was not an object and I went to the liquor store and there's 18 and a 25, I might go to the 18 just because I don't know. There's something.
I think also that this has more of a sherry influence.
Yeah.
On the 18. Like,
That's
I
probably
could taste more of the sherry influence on it than on the 25, which is interesting because, you would think it'd be the other way around since it's sitting in the barrel longer.
Or maybe that wears away too after 25.
The other thing,
we're bourbon drinkers. How many bourbons in a barrel for 25 freaking years?
yeah, not very many.
Well, for one, we're Americans, we're capitalists. We're like, no, we need to make money off that. Now it's been 9 years. You put it in the.
The other thing is too, it's like some of these sherry casks will be used multiple times.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you might have a first fill or a second fill. They might use a second fill sherry butt, which is huge. I don't know if you've ever seen a sherry butt. It's like the size of a 53 in the middle, but then it goes down and gets smaller.
Wow.
It looks like a little tube at the ends. It's crazy, but it's giant, enormous.
I wonder how long Macallan's been around.
It's a good question.
It doesn't say in the back of the bottle. So we need to text Macallan. I'm sure they'll listen and be like, but
you idiots, stop drinking our whiskey. And
I did an Irish accent earlier. No. But that is interesting because, we're like, what is, I mean, you can get a lot of crazy bourbons for aged a long time in the barrel, but for the most part, something crazy that you find at any liquor store for a bourbon is what, 9 years?
Yeah, the average, year is between 8, like on a single barrel and above. Like a budget pour is going to probably be 4 or less, but you're getting up into like the middle tier. You're looking at 8 to 9 years, and then once you get above 10, you're looking at what I call ultra aged.
Like I said, Pappy has a 23. Is that really 23 in a barrel?
Yeah, that's why it's expensive. Number one, because they don't have very much of it. So by the time 23 years go down, it's like a quarter of the barrel. So they lose that much of the whiskey to angel share.
I wonder what a bourbon would taste like if that much was taken out of, you know what I mean? It's just, oh my God, that has to be very interesting.
But yeah, so I mean, when you're looking at the difference of how
what happened in Texas though, where it's so hot? They make a lot of bourbons down there.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Nancy Fraley, who's at Still Austin, and they actually changed their barrel size for long-term maturation.
Really?
So they went from a 53-gallon barrel to a 58-gallon barrel. So they're getting a bigger barrel, as well as it gives it more space and time to contract and get more influence, but not in such a harsh way. So if you've ever done or tasted bourbon from like Garrison or Wisconsin, the drifting, what is it? Driftwood. They started out, they used smaller barrels, but they didn't age it as long because if they did, it would just taste like oak.
Yeah.
Because so the smaller the barrel, the more oak influence is going to have. So the larger the barrel, that's why like cognac barrels are giant, freaking enormous.
Yeah, massive.
So, you have that interaction playing as well in maturation.
Let's get a lot more smoke off of this. I don't know, or char or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously I don't have the refined palate that Kelsey has.
And I think that there's certain things that stick out to certain people that don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm more sensitive to certain things than my friend Jeff and Darrell are on certain notes and vice versa. I think that's just part of it.
Well, as you can tell, I obviously don't hate it.
Not at all. Man, that's so rich though.
Yeah, it's thick. It's thick. I know that's not, I don't know if that's a term or not, but you can say thin, thick.
Yeah. That's how our good friend Katie Turk would say, that's thick in the mouth. So, but yeah, man, it does have a little bit more drying tendency on the
dry.
Yeah. Like dries your mouth out.
That's
and that anytime you're dealing with a finished whiskey, you're going to get more oak tannins because you're using a secondary cask and some of those tannins are still in there. So for me, my experience is that any finished whiskey, whether it be scotch or bourbon or whatever else, that's kind of a telltale sign that it's finished, is that if it's a little bit drying, if it dries your mouth out. Where I didn't get that really on the 18 at all.
No.
But the more that I've drank this, the more it kind of sucks that moisture out of your mouth.
It really does. And mine's gone. Oh my God.
That is deliciousness.
Well, now for the big Macallan 30.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've been saying this to people for years. Well, not, I guess 8 or 9. Well, I think this tastes like a bourbon. And I know that's nuts. It's not a bourbon. There's nothing about it. I guess let's
find out.
And
just for science.
And
just
please,
purely for science.
if you disagree with me, tell me I'm full of shit. Please,
Okay.
please.
Well, we know you're full of shit.
Well, yeah. But I don't know.
It's interesting. And just so everybody knows, these are all E6 proof, 43% alcohol content by volume. And so they are very.
Oh my gosh, that was a big pour.
Yeah, it was. And did it. I didn't do it.
Sorry.
But they are, rather low proof. But all scotches are typically right around that 80 to 84, 85, which is interesting. There are some cask strength, but I've never had it at this age.
Let's do it as the Germans say, Prost.
Yep. Or Slancha, Jet. Can't say that word, so I just have to say it.
Again, now that smells way fruitier, right? Right? Way less.
There's way less of that maltiness and sourness.
The malts is there, but it's
way.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, it tastes like
it's way sweeter on the nose.
Well, that just means it takes people at Macallan 30 years to do what Americans do in 4.
Right?
No, being silly. No, I'm being.
Oh wow, these are so different. I can't get over how different each one of these is in the sense of mouthfeel, flavor profile, what sticks out in each one, what doesn't in the other. It just, I don't know, dude. It's crazy how different these are. It's like, I think the most viscous and dense one is actually the 25.
Yeah.
I feel like the 30 is way more refined than either one.
This one has all the woody notes.
Yeah.
This one is a little thinner, more of an everyday drinker. Put it on maybe 1 cube.
Yeah.
And this one is, holy shit, it's really good.
Yes.
That's not scientific. That's not poetic.
That's the ratings we're going to do. Holy shit, it's really good.
All right.
Sorry.
I told him before we pushed play that I'm sorry if I say bad words.
They're used to me saying it.
Yeah.
So.
I hang around cigar customers every day, and all we do is talk smack. And we live in a town where there's two very large military bases.
Yes.
A lot of retired guys come in and they cuss like sailors.
Even though they're Air Force.
Yeah.
or Army.
A couple Navy guys.
Every once in a while we'll get a squid.
See, I just tried to kind of hold in the back of my tongue a little bit. I did a little too much. Almost coughed it up.
So this is something I've talked to our people about a bunch, and I've been doing. Next drink you have after you swallow, take your tongue and press it against the roof of your mouth pretty hard. And what it'll do is it'll make all those flavors and experiences that you just tasted, like, come back and be more alive, even after you finished it.
Well, one thing I like to do, I don't know if this is, I don't know, some wine snob will, come onto this channel and slap me in the back of the head, but, you have taste buds all over. When you pull your tongue down, the ones in the back of your tongue are just, very large taste buds. Really, so when I drink a wine, I like to kind of just and really take all that back to the back of my throat, really taste everything, get it under my tongue and everything. I just try to do it with that. And that's why I almost died on camera.
I'm glad you didn't, because we might be enjoying this.
Yeah, I know. But doing that, I almost consider that kind of like a retrohale on a cigar. You just let it hit those taste buds in the very back. And you get a lot more of like those, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. That's why I was like, oh my God.
Even at that lower proof,
I drink these all the time. This is probably the 5th glass of this I've ever had in my life. So it's not like we always have it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wanted to try that. And maybe I should have done it off camera.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting too, the way that this sits on the finish. Like, this finish is super long comparatively to the other two.
It's weird though. You don't so early leave a trail.
It doesn't leave as much of a viscousness on the glass.
Yeah.
But to me, the finish stays longer.
Yeah.
But the 3,
the 12, I mean, not 12, 18 really left a mark on the glass. All that one, no, it's still there. Never mind. It's there, but it's just a really good scotch, guys. I mean,
Man,
you don't need to watch a video to know that one's good.
no, not at all.
So, Kelsey, gun to head, if money was not an object, take this one away. And you were at a liquor store, and like I said, you were, I don't know, some rich dude, billionaire, and that was on the shelf. What would you do?
I would get the 25.
Really? Okay. All right.
There's so much more of a depth of flavor to me. And being a bourbon drinker, it has that, I will call guts to the end of it. Like it's got some heft to the flavor profile, whereas this one is a little thinner. But I can see why this would, for a lot of people, would be.
It's different.
It's different, but it would be a big preference.
That's what's really cool is that all three of these are three different scotches, right? I mean, and if there are any like subscribers, members, whatever, tell us what you think. And we did not drink a 17 tonight because we didn't have a 17. And I don't like the 17. It is the most different of all of them. And I think the 17, it's a lot like, as you said, a lot of woody notes.
And it could be the cat. I don't know if the 17 is a different type of cat.
I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know.
But all three of these, the way that the sherry comes across is way different.
Yeah. So let us know if on this camera I've had the 17. Tell us what you think, because man, I wish we had that one on here, because you'd had that 17. I'd almost give you the 17 after we had these three. Now I'm serious. And you'd be like, that doesn't, okay. So these were all different, but they were similar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that the cool thing for me about all of these is the differences the different ways in which the sherry comes across. To me, this is the heaviest, and that's the heaviest, like second heaviest. The way that
I agree. That's the heaviest. Yeah.
So
this is just smooth, man. You think it tastes like a bourbon? No. He's the bourbon guy. I'm not going to disagree with anything he says.
No, I think the depth of flavor reminds me more of a bourbon, but I also think that this drinks proofier to me than the other two, even though they're the exact same proof.
Yeah. Okay. So this one does. So you think this one's a little hotter?
Yes.
Okay.
It's more.
I agree with that.
It comes across hotter, if you want to use that term. And then for me, it almost gets a little bit effervescent on your tongue on this one as opposed to the other two. I like that a lot.
Oh, and how many likes do you want to get on a video?
It depends. Like the last video that I did, it was a topic video. We're at over 2,000 views.
Oh gosh. Okay. So on this video, we get 4,000 likes, right?
Yeah.
Me and Kelsey will do a funnel of famous scraps in the spirit of Macallan.
Oh God.
Our wives would be okay with that. Right?
They'd be hiding this in the. We're not having to do that.
What? We'll have Fletch. EMS. He'll be there to give us IVs. Oh my gosh.
EMS on hand.
Do what? Yeah.
We'll have EMS on hand. That way, if one of us kills over, we have somebody to bring us back.
I don't drink grouse.
Yeah.
Do you drink much grouse? I mean, it's made by Macallan. It's good juice.
Interesting. No, I haven't drank very much of that at all.
Yeah.
I think I've had it once or twice.
When my father has parties, we have 12, we have the 18, and then we'll have grouse. And I'm telling you, that grouse is always empty. Maybe it's people going, I don't want to drink the 18 or 12, but a lot of guys are just going, you know what? I'm just going to have, my wife's driving tonight, or I'm getting an Uber. I'm going to have 4 or 5 of these. I'm going to have my 18 first, and I'm just going to drink grouse tonight.
I can see, though, if you're smoking a cigar with any of these. So, I think with the Habano, this 25 would be even fruitier.
Yeah. I really wish I would have thought about it, because I could have gone upstairs, because I think we have some grouse and we could have drank it. That would have been fun, but it not have been any comparison to those 30.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, what's interesting is that there's not a much.
I could be wrong, but grouse is made by.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I could be wrong.
Is that the color difference between the 25 and 30 is not as drastic as I thought it would be. But I mean, they're pretty close in color, if not really, really close.
I think well, obviously the 18's way lighter,
Mm-hmm.
but no, the 25 to 30 both have this very almost coppery-ish look.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
I wonder if people can see the bottle of a Macallan 12 in the background.
I bet they can.
Yeah, it's that massive bottle. When my sister got married, my dad found that bottle at a liquor store in Little Rock, and he bought it. And all the groomsmen and him, and I could not make it that night. I can't remember what I was doing, but there were a lot of them, and they all drank that bottle of Macallan 12, and they all signed it. They all autographed. And you can tell some of them probably signed it after. There's one guy just signed it with Homer Simpson's face, and it says,
Yeah, that is awesome.
that would be kind of cool. It's like, guys, my daughter's getting married. Let's just split this massive bottle of Macallan. And then once you're all done, let's sign it.
It's been several years since I've seen any big bottles like that of Macallan.
Yeah. I don't think
That's
it
crazy.
was anything. Well, my sister got married, I think, 10 years ago, but still.
Still.
Yeah.
The last one I saw was whenever was it Empire Liquor that was over at Phoenix Village when they closed?
Wild Hog was Phoenix Village.
No. Wild Hog was.
No, Wild Hogs was Phoenix Village, and Empire was in front of Joanne's.
I was thinking Empire was. Which one was the one?
We know our liquor stores.
Wild Hog I thought was over by Harps on the corner, right there across the River City. But I'm talking about Phoenix Village Mall.
Oh, Phoenix Village Mall.
That was the one.
Where were you buying a liquor store? Phoenix Village Mall.
Well, it wasn't the mall.
That's on the other side of town.
That's where Otasco used to be, inside there,
Funny story. I'm 44. I'll be 45 in a month. And I remember when I was like 21, 22, I was the oldest of all my friends by like a year and a half. And we would go to, I would just be like, Sammy, go get me something brown. We didn't care. It could have been Jack Daniels, whatever, like here's, and I remember going to Wild Hog Liquor on, right by the Harps.
Yeah. It was on 74th Street.
Yeah. I remember buying these bottles of something of a guy with a cigar hanging out of his mouth. And it was like $30. Right?
That's funny.
I'd buy that bottle every time because it was a guy with cigars hanging out and we all smoked. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's funny.
Isn't it funny?
But
I mean, granted, that was 20 plus years ago.
Right.
And now the bubbles burst and it's crazy for all the Pappy stuff. But yeah, I remember vividly going to that place and being like, because we didn't have any money. And I have $10. My friends would go, give me some money. And I have like $40. Go buy a bottle of bourbon,
Yeah.
So it could have been more than 40 or maybe $50. And I'd be like, I'm going to buy that bottle with the guy with the cigar. Yeah.
That turns out it's Pappy.
Yeah. Who knows what year? Who knows? But now they're crazy. Yeah. Oh, what is your opinion on Cat on Pappy? I know this is a Scotch video.
It's good whiskey, but it is definitely not worth the hype.
That's why I love it, Kels.
It is not. It's good whiskey. Don't get me wrong. I prefer the 10 and the 15. 15 by far to me is it's like peak point, and the 20 kind of comes down a little bit, and the 23 goes down.
Well, that's the thing. And I don't think either one will deny it's not really good bourbon.
No,
but it got so popular overnight, and it's still popular today.
Yep.
That the secondary and third party markets just crank the prices up. So if you go to a liquor store and you see a bottle of Pappy and it's $900 tag on that thing, dude, they're stealing from me, man.
Don't do it.
Stealing.
I mean, even I tell my friends all the time, like,
I know,
see 12 or 12, and it's like $400. I'm like, I mean, that's at $50. That's what it should be.
No, like I said,
$60.
If you're like Bezos or Elon Musk, you don't care. You do it,
right? Yeah, it's actually money like that. Zero.
Like awesome. What can we do to have that much money? Let's see, cartels. Let's do it.
Yeah, we could be narcos.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do cartels.
Anyways, thanks for watching the video.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Sammy and Sam, for providing this curated flight. Curated. He can't say that word either. He has problems before. Yeah. Curated flight from you guys. That was very, very good. So
But no, when Kelsey brought up the idea of doing this, I knew that my father was a big Macallan fan. I knew he had all the stuff, and I was like, man, let's do this. And we had the 12. We decided, why do 12? Most people had 12, but let's just do the 3 that are the most different. I think we succeeded. Although I wish we had a 17 on this table.
Oh well, next time.
Yeah. I think the next video was just pound grouse.
All right, see you guys later.
Steak grouse. Oh,